Hey guys, Jason here with my review of Cobra Kai Season 4. I'm going to be talking spoilers about this season, so if you haven't seen Season 4 of Cobra Kai, head on over to Netflix and check it out. And if you have, or spoilers don't matter, you've been warned. Let's get into the video. Now, this season was much bigger, broader, more epic than the last couple seasons. With each season, of course, it did build, so this season definitely did not disappoint. It is the first season fully produced by Netflix, and you can kind of tell there's a few Netflix-y things about this season that differed from the last season. They're just very subtle things, but it doesn't take away from the overall aesthetic or enjoyment of the season, as opposed to the other seasons. So, picking up immediately where the last season left off, Daniel and Johnny have decided to get together to take on Kreese, and Kreese has decided to reach out to Terry Silver, the big bad from Karate Kid Part 3. But Terry has moved on. He's living a different life, and he doesn't want to be that person anymore. He realized the error of his ways back then, and he's trying to do better by himself, but Kreese is not going to take no for an answer, and eventually he does bring Terry back, and not for the better, because Terry goes back to being his destructive, manipulative, devious self. The alliance between Daniel and Johnny goes about as well as you'd expect. The two of them, though, they really, really try hard this time to work together. And they get pretty close, except for the fact that Johnny becomes jealous of Miguel getting close to Daniel, and Daniel gets wary of his influence, of Johnny's influence on his Miyagi-Do, specifically Sam. And then when he finds out that Terry Silver is back and in the mix, he thinks that Miyagi-Do is the only way, and he needs to let him teach, and Johnny's not going to let that happen. So this culminates in a fight that's very similar to, Rocky and Apollo. We're never going to see, in a fight between Johnny and Daniel, once and for all, who's the better guy. We're never going to see that conclusion. Things are kind of changing. Also, Eli's working hard with the trying to redeem himself with both the Eagle Fangs and the Miyagi-Dos, because he came back at the end of the season, last season, and he's done wrong to both those sides. So he's really trying to help mend fences. And he starts to really try, except there's still a little bit of Cobra in him, so it's really hard for him to let that go. Meanwhile, Daniel's son Anthony is bullying this new kid Kenny, and Kenny is actually the brother of one of the kids that Robbie went to juvie with. So his brother tells him to meet up with Robbie. Robbie tries to teach him karate and takes him to Cobra Kai. Anthony tries to learn Miyagi-Do from Daniel to try to stand up to his bully, which is Kenny. But once Daniel finds out that Anthony's been lying to them and he's been the one bullying Kenny, well, then things kind of turn on their head, and Anthony's in trouble for that. Now, meanwhile, also going on, Amanda, Daniel's wife, is really, really still dealing with the trauma of what happened at their house with the Cobra Kai's coming to attack the house, and she's ready to get some kind of retribution, especially against Tori. So she wants to at first ruin Tori's life, but after a surprising heart-to-heart with Kreese, she finds out just what Tori's going through and really tries to be a guiding light and a help to Tori. And she actually does help Tori try to do better and to be more. And it's interesting because through that, Tori, to me, became a more interesting character. She became a more redeemable character. She became a more well-rounded character. I felt in the first couple seasons that she was in, she was very one-dimensional. She had one goal: take down Sam, be bad. World hates me. They're out to get me. But Amanda was the first. Her relationship with Amanda is the first glimmer that we see that, maybe Tori can be redeemed, and maybe Tori is can truly be a well-rounded character. Well, Terry Silver really tries to ramp up recruitment in the Cobra Kais, especially now that in the All Valley they've introduced several new rules, including a point system and also a boys division and a girls division. So after Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang separate, Johnny's got to find girls for his dojo, and Daniel needs to find someone who's going to be a ringer for the boys side of the tournament, because he's got Sam. Sam is good, but Terry Silver and Kreese aren't worried about it because their recruitment is up higher than ever. They were starting to recruit, athletic kids and everything. But there's a bit of tension between the two of them when Terry reveals to the class that Kreese has a weakness. Kreese doesn't want his weakness to be known to anyone. And there's kind of this thing where Terry falls back into his own old ways of trying to prove to Kreese that he's devoted to him and he's loyal to him and he's willing to go as far as he needs to go to prove himself to Kreese. And that becomes a source of a bit of a few machinations as we move forward. Johnny finds his star athlete girl for Eagle Fang, and after having after being humiliated by the Cobra Kais for leaving, and also kind of picking on Kenny, Eli has decided not to do karate anymore. But Dimitri convinces him to join Miyagi-Do, and he becomes the ringer for Miyagi-Do. So as the All Valley approaches, we have the prom. So Miguel and Sam go together, and Tori and Robbie decide to go just to piss off, Sam and Miguel. And that kind of results in them deciding to have fun on their own. Now, of course, Terry Silver is trying to put his hooks into Robbie and try to shape him into some kind of pawn in his twisted little game. And Johnny's not going to have it. Terry Silver buys back the old dojo and takes Kreese there and lures Johnny so that the two of them can beat him up. Kreese doesn't want to have anything to do with that, and calls Terry off before Terry could, really do some damage. Much to Terry's confusion. Now, one of the big things with this whole prom plot that I thought was fun was the return of Stingray. Yes, that's right. Paul Walter Hauser returns, and he's really trying to get into good graces with Cobra Kai, but, Kreese is in charge and he doesn't want anything to do with him. But, Terry Silver might be willing to work with him. So there's a after party at Stingray's house, and he's big and he's popular again. He tries to go to Cobra Kai and still kind of reeling from the confusion of Kreese being merciful to Johnny. Terry Silver loses it on Stingray in just one of the most shocking moments in the series to date. Miguel finds Johnny both beaten up and drunk after coming back from the prom. He carries Johnny to bed. Johnny tells Miguel he loves him. Miguel tells Johnny. He loves him back. And Johnny blurts out, good night, Robbie, confusing Miguel for Robbie. And it really breaks Miguel's heart and puts him in a just a bad place. So the All Valley is here. It's boys versus girls. Robbie has a match with Kenny, which leads to Kreese and Silver trying to tell Robbie not to take it easy on him. And he doesn't. And it pushes Kenny further and further down that dark path that he's already going. And after that match, he realizes the monster that Kenny's become and the effect that the teachings of Cobra Kai has had on him. When he becomes the bully and he's bullying Anthony. In a match with Eli, Miguel hurts his back again, and he takes himself, he's out. He just decides to just leave. And it's finally, the final matches are Eli and Robbie and Sam and Tori in two of the most epic fights in the series to date. Eli wins and gets the boys trophy, and it's up to Sam to win. Now, Amanda tries to implore Tori just to fight fairly. She doesn't want her to quit. She just wants her to fight fairly. And Tori, starts to show a little bit of restraint and compassion. Terry Silver wants her to push, but Kreese is kind of starting to have that change of heart again. And he just wants her to do the best that she can. And Terry Silver is like, what? Now he's confident that whatever she does, she hits a penalty, and at one point he's confident that she can do it again, and she's not going to get, that nothing's going to happen, because he says that the ref is not going to end this match on a technicality. So as the final match reaches its crescendo, Tori wins and Sam loses, and Sam is devastated, and Daniel and Johnny are forced to stop teaching karate. Terry Silver uses it as an opportunity to announce that they're opening more dojos all across the city, all across the valley, and Cobra Kai is taking over. Johnny goes back to the old dojo to see that it's been abandoned because they're moving into the new dojo. Robbie has his heart-to-heart with Johnny, and the two of them might actually start to try to rebuild and remend that friendship. That relationship, that father and son relationship. Miguel has run off to Mexico to find his father, and Johnny has decided to go after him to find him. And in his final act, Terry Silver betrays John Kreese by forcing Stingray to tell the cops that Kreese was the one who beat him up, so that Kreese would go to prison for assault and attempted murder, and that Terry Silver would be the sole, sensei of Cobra Kai and would run it all by himself. And Daniel is not going down without a fight. He's not gonna quit. He's not gonna give up, and he's enlisted some help, and that help is Chozen, his old arch enemy turned ally from Okinawa, back to kick some ass in season 5. And that was the most epic moment for me. I just got so excited when I saw Chozen. It was just crazy. I just could not believe it. So season 5 comes out in about a week. I'm really excited. I'm either going to do a review of that next week or the following week after it's been out long enough for people to have seen it. So look out for that. Let me know what you thought of Cobra Kai Season 4 down in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click that notification bell to get updates on all my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. As always, see ya.